Welcome to another edition of the Okto Effect podcast. What we're doing is episode number 2 with Reiki Master Cynthia Sotomayor. I still can't pronounce it right, can I?
You did. It's good.
All right. So last time we chatted, we talked about a lot of different things, kind of touched on the surface of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about collective and individual awakening, because I'm not 100% sure what that is. I think I do, but, we'll get into that. But first, thank you for coming on again. I appreciate it. How was your week? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, it was a very long week. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the chakra alignment. I talked about it last show, saying I'm going to get it done, and you did it for me. And
Yes.
I just have to say that it worked 1,000%. Sometimes I'm skeptical about some of these things, but when it all started, it started pouring rain too, right in the middle of it, which was very interesting because it was like a hurricane rain. It was raining prior, but what does that signify, if anything?
It was cleansing. It was a sign of cleansing for sure. And it was right where I got to the chakra that had a different energy going.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very interesting. Things like this happen.
So my goal was to disconnect from an individual that I was still feeling connected to, that I didn't want to anymore. But, when you were doing it, I had my eyes closed the whole time. And, you got, music playing, there's different elements going on. And right off the bat, as soon as you started, I felt the energy in like the warmth from your hands. And it didn't really get intense until you got like around my heart and my stomach. That's when things really started to change. What does that signify? Like let's
your
recap.
Solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So you want me to go through what we did from beginning to end? Okay. So when you first got here, I first smudged you. We went outside and I ran some sage through you. So I was cleaning your energy field, and I cleansed mine too. And then we came in here, got on the table, and right away, I guided you through a short relaxation, breath work, and then closed your eyes, and I I did the Reiki symbols in my hands. I did my little prayers and my little bringing beings of light, my higher self, your higher self. And once we had all the good beings in the room, we did we started doing your Reiki. So I ran my hands through all your chakras, and I felt different energies on different chakras, specifically your heart and your solar plexus, which is obviously the hardest back in the middle of your chest. Your solar plexus is right under your ribs. So those two areas had different energy going on with them.
Explain that. So I get to know what's going on.
Okay. So that means your other chakras were fine. We're pretty balanced. There was an imbalance of energy in this area. Okay. So we understand that better. So as a Reiki practitioner, we want to focus more on that area.
And this is my chest and like solar plexus
and your solar
stomach.
plexus. So your heart chakra has to do with love, ability to give love, receive love, and then your solar plexus is more like your power center, and also where you could feel either powerless or you could feel powerful. So it's just an imbalance of energy. See, I can't really diagnose what it means.
Right.
I can just tell you there was an imbalance there, and then go ahead and balance it.
Right.
Okay. So then once we did that, felt more balanced, then I put crystals on your chakras, and the crystals help increase the energy that I'm bringing you, the Reiki, increase the Reiki. And I also I added tuning forks, which
Right.
also increased the vibration in the crystal and in the Reiki and for the Reiki.
And I really felt that when the tuning fork was going, I literally felt like this surge of energy. Now the one thing that kind of made me feel odd was there was a crystal in my left hand, and I made a comment that it felt like it was melting, and
Yeah, that was
I felt
interesting.
like it was like sliding off. What is that?
I'm not sure. Something. I'm not sure. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. It's
Right,
interesting.
right,
I'm gonna look into like what that could mean, so I can maybe in a future podcast we can
right.
talk about that, and I'll bring you a better answer, because right now I mean, I could interpret different things, but it's just gonna lead you into
Yeah,
believing something that make it probably cut and not at all. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I won't sleep. I'll be on the
So
internet for days trying to figure out what that meant. But all
yeah,
right, so then when all right, so you did the stomach and chest,
we aligned your chakra. Yes, we
right?
aligned you. And then, like I said, I felt different energy, so I focused more on those areas. And then you do like a little removal, you know, you do your symbols and you do a little removal of whatever may be blocking,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. And then you fluff the aura and you do your closing, and pretty much that's it. It's a process, probably from beginning to end. It's about an hour from the smudging, you know, and then all the way through to the end to when you finish. And it varies. Obviously, some people have more imbalances, so you need to stay longer with them.
Right. Now, the thing
Yeah.
that really interests me because, well, a lot of things, but two in particular was the energy I felt off of you. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I said, my eyes were closed, but I could feel the energy shift when you moved around the table, which was really interesting because I've never felt anything like that before. And there was a surge of energy and this surge of empathy and all these little emotions. But the one thing I want to talk about was the disconnect. Okay. Because you walked me through that and you did something that I didn't realize you were doing it first, but then I understand it. Is you said I have to envision this person, and then a bright white light, if not going towards this person, and that light surrounding the person. Say your well wishes, and then the light absorbs back to them. They go away. There's darkness. Then you begin. You. I believe you started closing it. Correct.
I was doing a cord cutting.
Right. It was a cord cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
as you were doing that, you started talking to me about my dog. And I was like, what? Okay. And then you said, you know what I'm doing. And then I understood that you were trying to get my mind off that person because if my mind still had that person in it, it would have closed. It's like that scene from it's like Ghostbusters,
You
you know, with
weren't
that.
letting them go.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, when
Mm-hmm.
that little machine sucks the ghost in and then all of a sudden they open it up again and it, comes back out.
Well,
And
the reason for that is because once you set something into the universe, you can't just like it's like a prayer. You say a prayer and then you let it go, and you have faith, and
mm,
you let it go. You don't just keep praying, because then you're sending the energy
mhm,
of you're not trusting your prayer.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So you let go, and then that's it. And then you give it to the universe, and you forget about it, and that's it. And then the universe will take care of it.
Well,
Because if we cling to that prayer or to that desire, then we're still clinging to the entire situation or
and
the person.
you don't have faith in the universe, in
And then you're
God,
just
in whatever it
and then
is.
you're sending that frequency out, because the universe responds not to what we're pretending to do. The universe responds to what we're truly vibrating.
Does the universe respond to the conscious or subconscious?
To the subconscious. It
Subconscious.
responds to our true intentions, to our intentions that we are not even aware of sometimes.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean? To the truth. Universe responds to the truth.
what was interesting is when I was finished, I became a chatterbox. So like I was just talking and talking and talking and
Your
expressing.
frequency changed.
It did. And the ride home was very interesting because music sounded a whole lot different for some reason. It seemed more open. It seemed more robust, if you will. The attitude, everything, driving. And I had a conversation with my daughter on the way home from work, and she's very much into this, and was I was talking about the disconnect, and she said, and this kind of blew me away. She said, "Dad," she said, "think of it this way: you have an old couch in the house. You want to get a new couch. You have to get rid of the old couch to make room for the new couch." And that was like, it was so easy, but yet profound. And it like really put everything into perspective.
That's a great example. Yes. Because it's occupying an energetic space in your life.
Exactly.
So until you let go of that person, energetically, there's no room for another person.
No. And what was interesting is the emotional gut feeling and heart feeling that I had toward that person was gone, completely gone. And it still is.
Wow.
It was just, my eyes opened up. It was like, okay, this is real. What you did changed a lot of things. And in addition, is it boosted my creativity. It boosted my focus. It boosted my willingness to continue my self-help, self-improvement.
I'm so happy.
And so I was talking to people about it, and I just could not really comprehend the energy that was let off of you. And is it true that we all have this energy?
We all have the ability to channel it. We are powerful beyond what we imagine.
Which
we do.
I would highly recommend anybody who's thinking of having this done to do it, because again, it worked. It's continuing to work. I actually went to got myself a crystal, amethyst, and I will hold it, and I will put my thumb like that, and I literally can feel the tingling on my left when I move it, or on my right when I move it to the left. I could put it anywhere and feel that energy. And it's absolutely like, this is a whole new level of awareness. And that kind of leads me into what the meat and potatoes of that. So thank you, first of all, for doing that. That was
my
just
pleasure.
incredible.
Thank you.
And anybody,
thanks for trusting me.
No, it was so comfortable where, I came to you and it was just relaxing. There was no stress, and the traffic to get there, it took me an hour because of the weather, and home it took me a half hour. But I had sent you a message saying, "Hey, I'm running late," and you said just relax and be calm, and I did. And when I went there, even just trying to find a parking spot, whatever, usually I'd be like, okay, where is this, where, no, everything just kind of flowed. And like I said, it was absolute comfortable surrounding. I will do it again, I guarantee it, when need be, and I feel it. So anybody who is looking to do this, I strongly recommend that you reach out to Cynthia. At the end of the show, we're going to talk about how to get in touch with you. So let's move into this. You had sent me this message about something to chat about. Look, I can't put this crystal down. It's like
It's
caffeine.
A great stone.
It's like caffeine.
I love it. I love amethyst. Yes, it's a good one. I got my crystal, my quartz.
Okay, so
right here, my throat chakra.
So what does quartz do? Same thing.
Quartz is good for everything. It's like it's like your basic crystal. Like quartz is the main basic crystal. It's for every single chakra. It's for clearing. It's for increasing energy. It's for it's great for Reiki. It's you can't go wrong with quartz. When in doubt, quartz.
Yeah. Which may be a topic for another show where we talk about the crystals, because I'm just blown away by this whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
So let's get into this. We had chatted over message, and we were kind of going back on some things to talk about, and you came up with collective and individual awakening, which
Yes.
seems that, if I understand partly what it means, is that as a group, as a whole, and as individuals, we're starting to wake up to the nonsense. And we're starting to wake up to being played, and without getting political, because, you know, that's a whole different derail subject.
Well, there's different right. levels of awakening.
Right.
We're not going to get political,
no.
But that's part of the awakening.
Right.
People are waking up to everything, including political issues, right. Which we just finished seeing a whole lot of it.
Now, does it seem...
But let's not get into the politics.
But does it seem to you that people seem a little more friendlier, or is that just because I had my chakras aligned and I got a whole different mindset? It just seems like people are more open, people are more conversational. Is it me putting out the positive energy and I'm getting the positive back? Was I kind of roaming? Yeah. Was I roaming the earth in a little negative maybe mindset, preoccupied with a bunch of other stuff? So I'm noticing that. Is that part of the awakening? Is that part of...
Yes. Okay. Yes. So we attract what we vibrate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I was explaining to a friend the other day how it's weird how sometimes we don't see people anymore, like people that we used to see all the time. Do you know why that is? They're in a different frequency. They're completely in a part of your life that no longer exists, because you already moved into a different frequency. I don't know. It's really weird to understand this.
No, that's, you know, because I've noticed that there's certain people that I were best friends with a few years ago, and now I don't speak to them.
Yeah, I mean, because they're still talking about negative stuff. They're still talking, you know, I mean, they're still stalking stuff that probably you were stalking back then as well, but you've evolved, you know, and so there's, like I was saying, different levels of waking up, and also different people are at different stages of the awakening, but we're all in the process. I mean, people are beginning to realize that they are powerful. People are beginning to realize that the things that matter, the stupid things that mattered before no longer matter. And now they're beginning to ask important questions like, what am I doing here? And where am I going? And, you know, people are beginning to ask more and more of the deep questions, because they're becoming more aware of their divinity. We're becoming aware of our divinity.
Why is that? Why the shift? What's causing it?
Because the entire Earth is shifting. The entire Earth is shifting. The media helps a lot, because, like in the old days, before social media, you would think you're going crazy because you're not seeing on Instagram that there's other people going through the same stuff that you're going and asking the same questions that you're asking. So you would think you're going crazy. So you put it away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you don't talk about it. But now, because we have social media, we're realizing how there's more and more and more people talking about the same subjects, and not only talking about, but gathering around, and there's so many different levels of it. People are getting healthier. People are getting more spiritual. People are beginning to meditate more. People are a little bit getting further away from religion, but more into Christ consciousness. Mm-hmm. What is Christ consciousness? Christ consciousness is probably more like the embodiment of our higher self, because we all have our higher self, right? Our the wise spiritual part of us that knows everything, not
Right.
the ego part, not the ego part, the opposite of the ego, their spiritual part. So we're embodying that. We're becoming more and more that and less ego. We're becoming more energetic, more frequency based.
And you're saying that
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 makes sense.
is, yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I see it, I feel it. Um, Now, you said that that's because the earth is shifting. Now, literally shifting.
Because yes, literally, it's raising its vibration and us with it, and it's we're doing it together at the same time. Because the way I see it is like, okay, whether the earth is flat or round, that's a
Mhm.
whole other show. um, so the way I see it is like the more people see, this is the earth. The
Mhm.
more people around the globe that are waking up, that are doing more Reiki, that are doing more yoga, that are doing more meditation, that are doing more plant medicine, more ayahuasca ceremonies. I see it like there's more little light bulbs around the globe lighting up, right?
Mhm.
So there's like all these little light bulbs. We're all holding the earth together, and like a web.
Okay.
As humanity is holding the earth together like a whole web, because all over the globe we're waking up. So we're raising the entire frequency of the planet by waking up with the planet.
Do you
Get
think
it?
that nature, no, it's making perfect sense. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
nature and is sending us a warning signal or sending us a frequency saying, listen, guys, you need to shape up or ship out
I
because
think I
next
think we're
level?
becoming aware that nature is alive, and I mean,
Well, you said
nature
in the
has been
video,
sending these signals
yes.
for eternity, for always. But we're not receiving the signals because we're asleep.
Mhm.
We are now capturing the signals that nature is sending because we're waking up. Nature has had, we can talk about plant medicine a little bit. Nature has had
Yeah.
all these beautiful, wise, sacred plants, like mushrooms, like ayahuasca, like San Pedro, like peyote, iboga, like many of these plants that have wisdom.
Mhm.
And more people are waking up, are engaging in these plant ceremonies because of the spiritual awakening, the really really fast spiritual awakening that comes with them. Like I've been meditating since I'm in my 20s. I'm 56 now. I've been
Mhm.
meditating for 30 something years, and the way the first ayahuasca ceremony I went to, I compared it to the 20 something years that I've been meditating. Like for me, the level of awakening that I went through in just one ceremony was equivalent to the 20 something years of meditation.
Really?
Like it was that. So, and this is happening more and more. People are more and more
Well, and I
engaging
think, yeah,
in.
I think what's happening is, like you said before, people are getting on social media and not just to post pictures of them at some party all the time. And, hey, that's those people, they can live that life. But there's other people that are waking up to and they're looking into things. I spoke to somebody who I would have never in a million years thought that they would take part in an ayahuasca ceremony. Not only one, but three. And I was absolutely like, really? You of all people? And this person spoke to me about that awakening, that it was just something that you need to experience. They couldn't explain it. They couldn't explain it. They couldn't say. All they said was it was enlightening, enriching, and it took them to another level of consciousness of life.
It's very
And
very difficult to explain a
right,
journey, a plant medicine
and
journey.
I really do now am very interested in doing this. So that could be a whole nother episode after that's done. But let's get back into this, energies and people and what they're doing and why they're doing it.
So I took some notes. Let me see what I wrote. People are tapping. Yeah, people are. So yeah, this we were talking about individual and collective awakening.
Mm-hmm.
So awakening and ascension go hand in hand. So ascension, you hear that term thrown around a lot.
Yes.
Oh, we're ascending, we're ascension. They go hand in hand. Ascension into what? Into a different frequency, into a different dimension. We're going from a 3-dimensional consciousness into a 5th-dimensional consciousness.
Walk
we're
me
literally through that. So people are. It's not like it's gonna happen overnight. It's not like one day we're gonna wake up and all of a sudden we're in a whole other dimension. This is happening little by little, collectively. How? Through. Okay, so there's different. Our emotions have different levels, different frequency, right? Mm-hmm. So guilt, fear, shame, all those low vibrational frequencies, those vibrations keep us in a 3-dimensional frequency. When we are vibrating in love, when we're vibrating in harmony, when we're vibrating in peace, we are literally vibrating at a higher frequency. So more and more people are waking up to this reality, and more people are focusing more on love and light. It sounds cliche, but love and light are the way. Love and light are the way into this ascension. Mm-hmm. We need to embody more of that.
Get into that a little
unity
more.
Consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We need to be more unity consciousness, less duality, less separation.
When you say 5th dimension, explain that to me. What does that mean? What does that mean? 5th dimension. Is it consciousness, or are we literally living in another dimension?
It's a state of being. It's not like we're gonna be floating around. Right. It's a state of being.
Okay.
It's the state of being. It's a state of being, like I was saying, in a state of peace, in a state of love, not engaging in low vibrations, not engaging in arguments, not engaging in fighting, not engaging in division. And,
right. And there has been a large division, not only in this country, but in the world. And
that's intentional. That's intentional. There's really, really evil forces at play. Very, very satanic forces at play, trying to avoid for humanity to wake up, because then they want to control us, and they want to. This is a really strong topic, but there's an agenda to depopulate by the elites,
right?
And because they're scared right now. They're really scared right now of how fast we are waking up.
Right.
And we just finished seeing, just with the elections, how people turned to light, because I'm not going to get into the political.
No. You can touch on it, because you know what? Everybody is talking about it. It is my
belief.
Right.
It is my belief.
Right.
That the party that did not win is in cahoots with the Illuminati, with the elites.
Agreed, 1,000%.
You saw it with the Didi, you saw it with the Epstein, you saw it with all the celebrities endorsing.
Right.
And if you watch any of these celebrities, the signals that they make, the signs that they make, all this symbology.
Right.
People are waking up to this as well, to all these demonic shows that they have in the middle of the Super Bowl and in the Grammys and all these.
You know what?
Demonic shows.
I'm glad you said that about the Super Bowl, because I was going to say that. I think the Super Bowl last year was a turning point for people to go, what is this? what is this? What is this? These
They've
hand
been doing
signals? What
it
is it?
for
Right.
eons. They've been
But
throwing it in our face.
yeah,
They let us know, but now people are realizing. Yes.
and I think honestly that was the turning point for a lot of things, and that's when people started going, you know what, enough. I get it,
Yeah.
but I don't get it. I'm tired of seeing all this satanic stuff,
Yeah.
and like you said,
And the Olympics.
yeah. Oh, that was even worse. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you know what? I think that okay. Thank you. That was the turning point. Yeah, I think the Super Bowl woke people up, but I think
Yeah.
it was the Olympics where people
The
just said,
Olympics
"That's
was
it.
done.
I'm done.
I was like,
I'm done. I'm done."
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and like you said, the celebrities that endorsed that party are all part of that whole Illuminati.
Wait till they get exposed. It's about to happen. That's
Well,
part of the awakening too. You got popcorn.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You just have to sit back and you know, watch the other shoe fall, because it's going to get nasty. But I think people are going to I think it's going to bring people together. I really do. I'm starting to see people coming together. Maybe it's from what I went through with you, but I have a whole different mindset. You know, I find myself. I literally, when I was driving home from that, I literally smiled, which I don't think I've smiled in probably a couple years, like a real smile.
Aw.
And I don't know what caused it. I just had this smile. And one other thing.
Your chakras were blocked.
No, they were. And one other thing that we're veering off subject, but that's okay. We this is my show. I can do whatever I want. But
Yes.
So I had, like I told you, when I had Chatty Cathy syndrome after this was done, I kind of talked a little bit about the passing of my father. And the one thing that did was it blocked my childhood. Like I couldn't remember from probably the age of 17 back. I really I couldn't. I couldn't do it. And after this was done, I'm sitting here, I don't even know what I was doing. And I recalled a Christmas as if it was happening in front of me in my mind when I was probably 10 years old. Like from waking up to opening up the presents to getting the new bicycle to riding it down the street, looking at, seeing my dad out there with me and my brother. And, it was, it was here in Florida, and the weather was beautiful, and it was so vivid that I can't really explain it. And also my sleep patterns have gotten a lot better. I still have issues sleeping, but I'm finding myself being more relaxed in situations that I would never be relaxed in. And I want to talk a little bit more about some natural medicine. All right, we got a little bit of time here. So we talked about the ayahuasca. What other medicines are there out there, and what do they do?
What are you talking about, like plant medicine, like sacred plant medicine?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's ayahuasca, there's psilocybin, which is the magic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
There's San Pedro,
what is that?
which is what chuma. It's like peyote. It's a cactus. It's also a cacti, and it's very similar to peyote. It's also psychedelic, it's psychotropic, and highly, highly introspective and spiritual. I've had one ceremony with that, and I have not had the opportunity, but I'm very very called to do soon. It's with peyote. So people that have done both ayahuasca and peyote, they differentiate. They say peyote has more of a masculine energy, when ayahuasca is more of a feminine energy.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you because I haven't done the peyote. Then there's iboga. I believe that's from Africa. Iboga.
Okay.
That I have not
Sounds like
tried.
it. What does
Yeah,
that? What does that do? Because we learned
it's
one
also
does.
psychotropic.
Okay, and
They're
masculine,
all
feminine
they'll
energy. What's with
that
that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And there's also they're doing now what the clinical ones. What's ketamine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ketamine, they're doing it now. It's legal. They're doing it in clinical settings,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, which is very different from a ceremony. Like when the ceremonies that I do are with a real shaman and are in nature, and you got a fire going, and they're singing ikaros, which are your typical, your traditional songs that they sing to invoke the spirit of the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do
what
you
else is
feel?
there?
Do you feel that the pharmaceutical companies, if you will, since they are experimenting and doing clinicals with, say, ketamine? I mean, that's the thing that killed Matthew Perry, right? I mean, he was buying it off some guy in the street or whatever. But do you think that they're trying to capitalize that and monetize that and kind of turn it into
They are going
something?
to try. They are going to try for sure, but I don't think they have any business. I don't think pharmaceutical companies have any business whatsoever meddling with things of nature.
Right.
That's
but they're going
nature.
to. They're going to, because they're going to use it.
They're going to try to capitalize on it like they
as,
do with everything else.
As a patch. They're going to use it as a patch. When, I don't think they fully understand the power and the magnitude of it. I think they're going to start synthetic.
They're never going to be able to mimic to do the same as you're going to go sit in a ceremony with a shaman that has grown these medicines, that has grown, that is from generation to generation, comes from a family of shamans, right. that literally from when they're little they start microdosing these medicines. So I mean, a pharmaceutical company, like people that work in labs, I don't think they have any business meddling, and I don't think they're ever going to be able to duplicate that experience.
Well, I don't think so either, because it's going to be in a controlled environment. When I say controlled, it's in a laboratory environment as opposed to being out in nature, because you have to be in tune with nature. Takes the
spirituality out of it, kind of. Right. You know what I mean?
I think you have to be in tune with nature to work with nature. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're working with a guy in a white lab coat and he's in a white room and you've got bright lights around you and they're injecting you with whatever.
These medicines have a spirit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? These medicines have a spirit. The shaman's talking to the spirit of this medicine. No doctor is going to be able to do this. It will never ever.
Well,
work.
I think what they're going to do. Work. I think they're going to capitalize on the people that are afraid to do it right because they think it's hokey and kooky and all that. And those are going to be the people that go that way. And then the people that are awakening are going to do it the in tune with
traditional
nature. Traditional. Yeah. I really think that, getting into nature really changes things. Like, I try to get in the ocean almost every other day. I'll go watch the sunrise. Yeah. I'll dive in, and it's cold now. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The water's a little chilly, but it's so refreshing, and you just feel this whole new energy from the ocean. Yeah. The ocean's a whole different story. I mean, that's a world in itself, and it has a lot of energies, and it has a lot of, qualities that people take for granted. And as I rub my crystal here, but I literally, I carry this at work. I put it on my desk. If I feel a dose of either an anxiety or a little like, all right, I got to get this done, I grab this, rub it a few times, put it down. I'm done. I'm like done.
I love it.
It's a mindset. And that's what it is. Being in a mindset of positive energy, of positive thoughts, of trusting God, the universe, whoever it is that you trust. When you put that trust and let go into that, it's a whole nother world. And I know a lot of people that are, going through things, and they're wondering why, and this and that. And it's easier said than done. But when you master the letting go of whatever it is, whether it's a prayer, whether it's a feeling, whether it's an emotion, when you say, God, universe, take this, but you have to, like you said, you have to believe it. You can't just, like you said in the beginning of the show, you can't just say, okay, whatever. Uh, I want to get back on track. I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling focused. Help me, do that. And once you say that, you have to put it out there and go, okay, it's like waiting. You just got to wait on the timing, because that's another thing that people really don't understand is it's in certain timing. Things have to align. Planets have to align. People have to align. Everything is about alignment. I'm a firm believer is that anything that you do, anything that you want to accomplish, anything that's in your DNA is an alignment. And we're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And when the person next to me has this bad energy, I can feel it and I move. Like I literally will move and I'm like, that felt better. And I think that's a lot what this helped too, was making me aware of that negative energy and feeling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. See, everything has energy. Our words have energy. Our thoughts have energy. Our actions have energy, and they have ripple effects.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is going to affect other people. What we say is going to affect other people. Likewise, what other people are doing and saying are going to affect us when we're unconscious about it. But if we're conscious, we can choose to put a shield, and we can choose, like every day before I leave my house, I put a shield around me. Put a bubble of protection around me. I suggest everybody does.
No, you have to, because there's still some
it'll change it.
Negative toxicity out there that if you're not careful, it jumps in and crawls in and does its thing on you.
No, before you know it, you're in a bad mood and you don't know why, and you just picked it up from the guy next door. You know what I mean? Like the guy next to you in Publix or whatever.
Right.
And we don't realize we pick up all these things, but the more we are mindful, the more we do meditation and we do, the more we become aware of these things and the more conscious we become. And that's part of the awakening.
For somebody who's never meditated before, what advice would you give them? Because I was struggling with meditation for a long time, and we had a chat about it. And, I'm up to now, I think the first time we spoke, I think I was like 1-2 minutes. I'm at about 15 now. I set
That's
30 aside, but I'm at about 15 right now. And then, I'll hear a noise, and then all of a sudden, and sometimes it's just, when I meditate, sometimes is just darkness. Like I just want to shut everything off. But what advice would you give somebody?
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience and consistency.
Right.
Patience and stick with it. 5 minutes are better than no minutes.
Right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you do something 21 times, it becomes a habit. But you have to do 21 times in a row. You can't just do 20, do it one day and then decide.
Stick with it.
And
some people maybe takes 2 months. Maybe some people take 2 days.
Right.
But sticking with it and practicing is like a muscle. You gotta work that muscle. You gotta work that muscle until you see the muscle. You go in front of the mirror and you're like, oh, look at it. There it is. Meditation is the same. You gotta practice. It's something you gotta work it. And
it's like when I go to the beach,
sit and you're going to say, "Oh wow!"
Right. It's like when I go to the beach on Saturdays. I play volleyball. So this last Saturday, there was a moment where I was playing a game, and I felt a negative energy amongst the people on the court. I don't know who it was, but as soon as I ended the game, I went right to the water, and I closed my eyes. And I sat at the edge of the water for probably what was a good 3 minutes, just meditating. In positive, exhale negative. And I came back and it was like, all right, I'm good. So yeah,
That's all it takes.
it's all about being aware, and then not confronting somebody going, well, why'd you say that? I don't care. Okay, you said it. It doesn't bother me. I'm in my bubble. It's gonna bounce off, or if I'm not in my bubble, it's probably gonna come into me, and I'm gonna be all right. I have to consciously get rid of that.
Choose.
You know, just
We always have a choice.
exactly,
The beauty.
exactly.
Yeah. Free will.
Well, I think we covered quite a bit here. I really do. Anything else you want to go over, or are you good?
So my last thing.
Yes.
Meditation, in ascension, all that, it goes hand in hand. But knowing it at an intellectual level is not going to help. We need to do the work. We need to practice. We need to get out there. We need to get in nature. We need to do meditation. We need to toss the alcohol, toss the medication. We need to toss the negativity. We need to be in unity, in consciousness, in unity consciousness. We need to be in Christ consciousness. We need to be more loving.
That says it all. And we got to be aware of it, you know, because everybody is going through something. Everybody. And we can't assume that everybody is in a good place. We can't assume that people are, you know, are in a right spot. But, you know, something
we're not our Instagram.
Right. You know, there's what, 3 things that we can right, Instagram. I like it. 3 things that we can control, and that's our opinions, our decisions, and our actions. That's it. That's the 3 things that we can control. We can't control the weather. We can't control what the person next to us does.
They can.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah.
No, they can.
Yeah, we can. I mean,
they can.
Okay, maybe that was a bad example. So yeah, they can.
I got you. I'm joking.
But you know what I'm saying. All right. So,
yes.
Cynthia, we're definitely going to do this again. Oh, I dropped my crystal.
Yes.
Is that bad? Is that bad? That I dropped?
Oh no, it's
okay.
not. Talk to it.
Okay. Sorry about that, dude.
Yes.
All right. So we're definitely going to do another show. We'll wrap our heads around this again and come back to it. But this is something that I wanted to talk about was the chakra alignment. So if somebody out there in YouTube land, podcast land, Spotify land wants to contact you, how do they do it?
Befriend me on Instagram, Cynthia Sotomayor Yoga.
Okay.
CYNTHIA SOTOMAYOGA.
All right. And I'll put that in the notes as well for the show.